Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto Got the Karma Seal from our rogue Otsutsuki. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episode over on Anime King 2 of What If Godlike Naruto was sent to a parallel universe, and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new, yes, I indeed have 4 channels, which I post What If on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now, guys. So the last time we left off, Naruto was training with Killer Bee. As he was training his evasion, dodging, as Killer Bee with his multiple swords was a force to be reckoned with, and Naruto figured that if he could dodge from him, well, he could pretty much dodge from everyone else. However, he was called for a mission, as it must be something pretty big. So with that, he made his way off, skipping back to Konoha. They had done D-rank missions for an entire month, but after that, they start to be allowed to do C-rank missions. Nothing too hectic, just low level. She had faced a few bandits. Natsume and her sister has grown exponentially in the past couple of months. They had trained harder and they were growing stronger by the day pass, as both girls were ready to take on more dangerous missions. Even Yujeo had saw the growth in her little student, as the girl was coming along a far way, as she knew that she saw something extremely special inside of her. That is why she had picked her as her apprentice, and the girl was coming along well. So with that, Natsume was given a mission, as Mito was already out. She was given a mission to go towards the Land of Wave and bring the bridge builder to, well, get the bridge completed. As Natsume seemed to take after her mother with her teasing ways, as she seemed to love teasing Sakura, especially about Sasuke. And Sasuke and her were friends, yes. They were good friends. Despite the way she might act, or despite the way he might act, they were good friends. You could see it in their attitude. As Sasuke had known her from he was a small child, and she had been nothing but supportive. However, one thing Sasuke hated was pity. He didn't want anyone to pity him, that is why she did not try to pity him, and just treat him as an equal. And that made him very much happy. So with that, they got their things packed and headed towards Land of Wave. We had a time skip. Because of their location, they took a longer while to get to the Land of Wave. The thing was, Reiga, one of the missing 7 ninja swordsmen from Kiri, had been on the loose for some time now. Reiga had done some atrocities in the past, especially against Kumo, which made them want to hunt him down, as he had came across several Kumo ninjas and attacked them. A fearsome battle had ensued between them, and he had came across some scrolls, very important scrolls to Kumo, and he had taken them. So right now it was their job to hunt Reiga down and get the scrolls that he took back to the village. Naruto had got the money from the corpse of Aoi after they had took it in for the bounty, and he had bought a very dangerous mask with it. Something that he found rather awesome, as he was showing it off rather well, even talking in a darker voice, as his teammates and his senseis just choose to ignore him for the time being. They know him well enough by now, and they know how silly he acts most time. So with that out of the way, the mission continued on. At Konoha, Minato had came across information that was sent to him by Jiraiya. Konoha had recently paid the bounty for Aoi, as they had finally got by the missing ninja. The thing was, there was also an extra bounty if the sword had been handed to Konoha upon him being brought in. However, the sword had not been given. The bounty given was anonymous, so they had no idea who did it. However, there was some rumors and some news. As Jiraiya was able to get a foothold on it, it turns out that there was a child from Kumo who was the one that defeated Aoi and took the sword from him. Now that was surprising. A mere child was able to defeat someone like Aoi. Granted, he was not the best of ninjas, but for a child from Kumo to defeat him by himself, it just goes to show that Kumo ninjas were growing in strength. And they have been for the past couple of years after all. They had the most amount of ninjas. So with that, the group made their way towards Kumo. As for Natsuma and her group, they had came across several conflicts, but they had decided to go along. Tazuna had lied about the mission. Yes, he had lied about the mission. But they went along anyway to help him, and they came across Zabuza, the missing nin. Reiga was also there as well, as he was working for Gato mainly, but he was also a part of the support team here. He was on Gato payroll, that is why he was not there to intervene when Zabuza was facing off against Team Kakashi. But Reiga knew his place, that Zabuza was not someone to be trifled with. The Konoha team got there as they started to gather information. Naruto came across Sakura, having no idea who she was, and she, having no idea who he was. They spoke to one another, as Naruto showed that he didn't mean her any harm by holding his hand away from himself, as Sakura felt like she could trust him despite not knowing him and knowing that he was from a different village. When she reported this back to Kakashi after telling Naruto a few about what she knew, granted she did not exchange name with him, Kakashi was just glad that nothing ensued a fight between them because he was not in the right state right now to be fighting anyone. However, he told the group to stick closer to the house until he was back to 100%. The week passed by as the Kumo team had searched and they came across the island that Gato was on. It was on the very day that they decided to raid the island that the calamity was happening on the bridge. Arriving in there was no one there. It turns out there was an underground tunnel that Gato had used to make his men sneak underground, where they would take the ships to get towards the main island where the gigantic bridge was. As Naruto had separated from the group and went and he found Gato. However, Naruto did not kill him though, as he found another purpose for him. The man was indeed wealthy after all, after seeing what he has done here in Land of Waves. So with that, he called back his sensei who arrived. With that, they took the tunnel. After knocking out Gato, they took the tunnel and made their way. It did not take them too long to arrive towards the location. Arriving there, something happened. Someone was blasted off the bridge. Naruto didn't know why, but his legs just moved, and he leaped forward. He caught her. Turns out that he was none other than Natsumai, but as she looked at Naruto, her eyes seemed to be fluttering like she was gonna pass out any moment, as the both of them dropped into the water. So yeah guys, basically let's left off, you guys can switch across the place, check it out for yourself, and also don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs of the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 channels which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Link will be in the description, so go ahead, check it out, and yeah, enjoy. So without further ado, what is we begin this now guys. Everything went bad so fast. First thing first, Natsumai had worn herself out. Thus, they had left her behind to sleep it off at the house. She had woke up to Inari and his mother being attacked. So she had fought off the thugs, knocking them out. Getting them to safety, she rushed towards the bridge, only to arrive to see Sasuke stuck in the ice dome. She had jumped inside, as Sakura was guarding a client. Upon jumping inside, she helped Sasuke, until Sasuke jumped in the way, and get hit by the ninja needles. She was taken aback, as he risked his life for her, and it seems like Sasuke had died. However, he was just placed in a dead state. However, Natsumai lost it, thinking that he was dead. She attacked the ice ninja with a ferocity that she's never gone before. The intent to kill was all over her. She wanted to rip the ice ninja apart. That was until she shattered the mask to see his face. It was Haku, the guy that she had met in the forest, the guy that was so nice to her, asked her, What made her strong? She couldn't believe it. She did not strike him down, but he was already damaged from what she had done to him. He was shocked by her power, and knowing that he failed, he told her to end his life. But she would not though. She let her guard down, and that was her mistake. Because the moment she turned, there was a man that she's never seen before. He held out two blades towards her. They then started to generate lightning. There was no time. She could not get away fast enough. She was hit with a healthy dose. The force had slammed her into the railings, her head hitting against it rather hard. Everything had went blurry. She fell over the side of the bridge. Haku had even tried to save her. However, he could not. The attacker came so fast from Riga, who had appeared on the scene to see what was going on. So Natsume was falling, as she couldn't believe it. Was this really it? Was she gonna die right here? Everything was so blurry. That is when she turned and she gazed upon someone. Someone appeared. Their face. It looked so familiar. However, she had no time to recollect anything because, from her using the dosage of the fox power, and her hitting her head and being zapped by the lightning, she had passed out. And thus Naruto had saved her life without knowing who she was. Naruto didn't know why he jumped. He just saw her falling and then something just snapped inside of him. His legs had pushed off before he even thought of it. However now, as he was inside the water, he started to channel wind chakra into his left arm. He proceeded to blast himself upwards. As Naruto landed on the bridge, still holding on to the soaking girl, he was now soaked himself. As Naruto landed with her in his arms, there was just something about it happened so fast. Riga snarled as he saw the girl that he had just tried to kill come back up with a savior. The both of them are soaking wet. "Don't do it!" Haku yelled. However, Riga smirked before he flashed his right blade. "Stay out of this!" As he shot his left blade forward, Naruto's eyes went wide as a bolt of electricity was coming towards him. Everything seemed to slow down. Time itself stopped for a brief second, and yet he could not dodge. Naruto cursed in his mind. However, at least he could save her. He gripped on tightly to the girl with his left arm. He had no idea who that boy was. Or girl, he did not know. If it was a feminine boy or a masculine girl. He threw the unconscious girl in his arms towards her. Or him. Haku, who had staggered back, reached out as he caught Natsume. Darue landed on the opposite side of the bridge as he rushed forward, but it was too late. A blood-curdling scream was released from Naruto as Riga zapped him with ferocity. Riga then noticed the Kumo headband, and his eyes turned dangerous. The intent to kill flooded the entire bridge. Both Amoy and Karu jumped on the bridge as they tried to make it in time. Sakura turned as someone whipped past her, not even sparing her a glance as she saw two more others. However, they were not focusing on her. Darue was cursing in his mind. He would not make it in time and he cannot use the attack to stop this because he might hit Naruto. Naruto collapsed to his knees. "You damn Kumo scum," said Riga. "Once again you're after me," as he stepped forward and raised his blade. "But it doesn't matter how much of you come. I'll just keep on cutting you all down." Riga sliced both of his blades as blood splattered all over the bridge. As his blade had torn right into Naruto's chest and midsection. As he then kicked Naruto off. As Naruto was falling, time itself was still slow. The pain that was coursing through him was unbearable. It was agonizing. It was horrible. Because of him being completely soaked, the lightning had hurt him even more. And his entire chest area was now torn out. His stomach area as well. Damn it, he cursed in his mind. He never got to say goodbye to Yujito-chan. Or Samui-chan. The people that cared for him. Now he was gonna leave them. That was what hurt him the most. But at least he could save that girl. He didn't know why, but for some odd reason he felt a connection with her. As he dropped into the water. Up on the bridge, Reiga jumped away. As the bridge was destroyed at that section, black lightning ripping it apart. Reiga landed, what the hell? As Darui looked over the edge of the bridge. Before he could make a move, Reiga rushed towards him. Darui pulled the sword from his back and clashed with the man's blade. Time was running out. He had to save Naruto, if he was still alive after that. Meanwhile, within Naruto's mindscape, green eyes focus on what she was seeing in front of her. Slowly picking herself up from her throne, she walked towards him. Yui, looking down at the unconscious boy. Pathetic. Risking yourself like that, and almost getting yourself killed. She then noticed something. Now this is interesting, she said to herself, as she rested her hand on his chest. That is when it happened. Both Reiga and Darui had jumped back, landing in the opposite direction. Darui knew that he had to end this quickly. He couldn't allow Reiga to go after the others, or stop him from saving Naruto if he was alive. Knowing Reiga's hatred of Kumo ninjas, he would not hesitate to try and kill the others as well. But before he could though, a violent explosion shocked everyone. Even Kakashi and Zabuza stopped what they were doing. Both of them seemingly exhausted, or they were reaching such state very soon. As they turned, the water had shifted violently, shaking the entire surface. Several boats were completely blown away. The thugs had to quickly jump onto the bridge, otherwise they would be swept away by the current. That is when they saw it, a green light in the sky. It seemed to encompass and swallow everything. The bright light overtaking everything. Many of them had to squint their eyes. It was then it started to be revealed. Kakashi focused on the young man. As he focused on his features, white hair that reached down to his shoulders. His right eye was green. There was strange marking on his right arm that traveled and twisted around it. It seemed to be coming from the center of his palm. His left eye was closed, while his green-white eye, with no pupil, was surveying the bridge. Naruto, Darui said. Given their distance, Kakashi did not hear what he said. However, Sakura did. But Sakura was not sure who that person was. Naruto was a secret the most. After all, when he was much younger, the only people that ever saw him was the clan head children. Sakura not being from any clan, she had never saw or met Naruto. And Natsume had never told her about Naruto. Yes, they were on a team, but they were not on team for long, it was just a few months. So Natsume had never told her about Naruto. However, Sasuke knew, but right now he was unconscious. As Naruto landed on the bridge. And also there was a crown. Half a crown. Coming from his forehead that twisted around to the back. However, it was missing another half. It would seem like a crown would be situated on his head, but it was just half a piece. Looking down toward his hands, it seems I do have some control. However, you will have to be put in a state like this again. But that could also result in your death. And I'm not sure if you die that I would not die as well. Naruto said to himself, confused in Darui. Naruto, are you okay? Hey, I just killed you, said Reiga. Tch, you pitiful human. You disgust me, said Naruto. As he raised his hand towards Reiga, Reiga saw this as an act of aggression, a threat. He quickly flooded his blade with lightning and shot it at Darui, who flipped away. Naruto, move, he's aiming after you. As Darui was right. Take this, lightning release. Consecutive lightning balls, Reiga said. He created 12 lightning balls that started to shoot lightning blasts towards Naruto. However, Naruto simply raised his hand and all of them started to vanish. The moment they came in contact, it was like he was disassembling them or absorbing them. Is this what you call power? Would you like to see what true lightning is? You pitiful human. Reiga opened his mouth, but as he did, Naruto was in front of him. As he reached out and grabbed him by the face, Reiga was shocked. He tried to raise his left arm, but Naruto slammed a brutal kick in it. A cracking sound could be heard as Reiga cried, but Naruto's hand was over his mouth, covering his muffles. His left hand came up to stab Naruto, but before he could, there was a flash of green, and a strange dagger appeared in Naruto's hand as he jammed it right through Reiga's shoulder. The hand was completely immobile now. Now remain quiet and enjoy the ride. Naruto flew straight up in the sky. The members of Team Darui watched with shock. What's going on? Amoy said. Karu, having no answer to that, as everyone looked up to the heavens. As Reiga tried to get away, but he could not. As he could feel them going faster and faster until they were so high up, he could barely see anything down there. Now let me show you what true electricity is like. As Naruto raised his hand to the clouds, slowly but surely, he seemed to be releasing chakra, but in doing so the clouds started to turn black. Reiga fight as he tried, but Naruto brought his head back and slammed it in Reiga's skull, causing the man to stagger, his head swimming. All the black clouds gathered around Naruto before. Violent electric storm erupted out of them, his chakra creating a lightning. All of that electricity slammed into Naruto's arm that he was holding out. It then proceeded to travel throughout his body. This is what true power is. Reiga screamed as he started to be electrocuted. His cries of anguish could be heard, as Naruto's face was twisted in a snarl, followed by a smile. Oh, it's not going to be over that easily. As he continued to electrocute him while his other hand came up, the green glow, somehow stopping Reiga from dying. But yet his body was being fried, and yet he couldn't die. The green glow somehow preventing his death. While his body was being burned, tears started to evaporate. The water inside of his body started to boil and evaporate, smoke coming from his eyes and mouth, as Naruto kept on laughing, not in control of his body. By the time it was done, Reiga didn't have any visible skin. Pitch patch here and there, but most of his body was completely blackened. He had no eye, no ear, no mouth. Nothing. His face was like a dummy, completely gone. Just his skeleton that seemed to be breaking away as we speak, as Naruto released him. Filthy human. Glancing downwards, vein appeared at the side of his face, as the green eyes seemed to focus straight down below, noticing several more people gathered on the bridge. The smile on his face seemed to increase, as Yui seemed to be enjoying herself, incinerating humans. Slowly but surely she levitated down and landed in front of all the bandits. Kakashi and Zabuza had stopped fight as they saw someone standing there. Who the hell is that? Zabuza asked. Kakashi did not reply though, looking towards a person feeling an overwhelming amount of power coming from this individual. A green glow gathering around their body. You all should be honored. As Naruto's voice did not even sound like his. You all get to die by my hands. You should be on your knees bowing and thanking me for this. What? One of the men shouted. Who the hell does this brat think he is? Let's kill him. As Naruto chuckled ominously. By all means. Come human, he said as he stepped forward. Why not give it a try? The man at the head of the group, as their master Gato was not even here to say anything, so he drew a long blade from his back. It even seemed to be a bit too heavy for him, but yet he gripped it tightly and rushed forward, intending on taking Naruto's head off. However, Naruto simply tapped his feet on the ground. The green glow, swallowing the entire bridge. The railing started to give way before it exploded. Nails and other metals flying everywhere. The railing seemed to come alive and wrapped around the man's arm. The right one got wrapped by the right railing, the left one got wrapped by the left railing. Now, no arms for you. He snapped his finger as they pull. The man screamed out before his arms were ripped out of their sockets. He then pulled his right hand back before he slammed it in the man's chest. Upon doing so, he was blasted through the crowd, slamming into several of his own comrades before they landed in a heap. Now, all of you, as Naruto raised his hands up to the heavens, shall be erased. The clouds once again started to get dark. The entire bridge was shaking violently. That is when Kakashi saw several Kumo ninjas appearing on the scene, and Natsume being held up by someone. What the hell was going on, Kakashi thought. But his gaze was once again turned towards the violent sky. The wind started to pick up as he started to step back. Everything started to become out of control. As Naruto continued to laugh as he held up his hand. That is when the ocean itself exploded upwards like a geyser, forming a monstrosity. Kakashi could not explain what he was seeing, but it was some kind of beast. Its body had glowing green lines all over it. The thing roared before it held its hand up and drive it down on the bridge. The entire bridge section exploded, all of the bandits being swallowed in the attack. But it wasn't done yet as the monster sucked them into itself. They were all trapped in its stomach. The monster then started to spin so fast as the wind slammed into it. The wind became like some kind of high velocity pressure. It was like they were stuck into some kind of blender. It then happened. The water turned red as Kakashi watched as the members were torn apart. And throughout all of this child, or even if you could call someone that possessed power like that, laughed psychotically as the members were torn apart. Yui was happy. After being contained for so long, being locked away, unable to express her true self, she was finally able to get revenge. Despite it being not on the boy that had locked her away, but the people that was around him. Humans were beneath her. She thought of humans like an ant, something that could be squashed, and they were there for her amusement, to be killed for her to feel better. For her imprisonment for so long, she turned her gaze. Kakashi was taken aback. That face. Why does this boy look so familiar? Kakashi could not place it, but this person looked so familiar. Now, it's your turn. Darui, step back. Something was definitely wrong here. He remembered what Yujito had told him. It seems like, as Naruto raised his hand, "Stop this!" Darui said, "It's us, your team. You all mean nothing to me." Naruto's left hand shot up and grabbed his right hand. "Enough," he said. However, his voice sounded a bit more normal. "What? You're back? I thought I finally got rid of you." "This is my body," said Naruto. "Now, go." "No, you go," said Yui. "You do not belong here." "Now go," said Naruto. As he started to fight his own hand, he dropped to his knees before he brought his hand up and slammed his head into the ground. Be more precise, the bridge. The crown on his head started to crack. He brought it down once again and boom! The crown exploded. "I said, go!" Naruto shouted. "Damn you, human! Ruining my fun! I'll make you pay for this." "Yeah, I have no doubt about that," said Naruto. As his eye returned back to normal, he looked up towards his sensei. "Hey, sensei." As Darui stepped forward, "Catch me," said Naruto, as he fell. Darui was by his side in an instant as he picked Naruto up. He checked him over for a moment before he moved past the Konoha ninjas. "Come on," he said. "We're going," he said to his team. It was at that moment that Natsume started to came to. As she opened her eyes, she saw someone The first thing she saw was the long, white hair being carried by another man. Wait, she said to herself. You're awake, Haku said, seeing that she was awake. Kakashi moved towards his student as he took her away from Haku. Haku jumped back to Zabuza's side. Zabuza was still in shock after what he had just witnessed, never expecting to see something like that in his wildest days. Where's Reiga? He said. He's dead. That boy killed him. But he showed his true motives. Even after I tried to stop him, he attacked me, Haku said. Zabuza gripped his blade. Kakashi, he said. Kakashi looked over towards him, preparing himself. Seems like I was set up. There's no other reasons for those bastards to be here, other than coming to kill me themselves. Gato set me up, and I'm gonna find him and kill him. So as of this moment, you and I have nothing against each other. The bridge builder can live for all I care, Haku, he said, as Haku created a mirror. As the both of them started to sink into it, Sakura came running up to her sensei. Sensei, what the hell just happened? As Natsume was holding on to her head. Are you alright? Kakashi asked. Yeah, I'm fine, she said, as she saw Sasuke was being supported by Sakura, who was moving fast to get to her sensei. She smiled. You're okay, she said. He simply gave her one of his knowing grins before he lowered his head. Sensei, that boy, who was he? Natsume asked. I have no idea, said Kakashi, but he seems really familiar. Yeah, you're right. Time skip. Okay, what the hell was that? Amoy said, as he looked towards Naruto, who lay on the bed in the hotel room. Darui glanced towards Naruto. He knew more than them, of course. However, this was a problem that none of them had seen before. Sorry for not being straightforward with you guys, but I kinda got an alien sealing inside of me. At least, that is what she seemed to be. His two teammates were silent. Amoy's mind seemed to be running a mile a minute. Karu reached her hand up before she whacked him over the head. He did not even protest because he was about to go on a long rant. As she snapped his mind back into focus. As he asked, You're joking, right? Nah, not really, said Naruto. Explain, Karu said. To do that, I have to tell you guys everything, said Naruto as he sat up in bed. You guys are my teammates and I trust you. I place my life in your hands on a daily basis, so I don't see the problem with telling you this. About what just happened, I'm not sure, but you see, a couple years back, as Naruto went on to tell them everything that he knew about himself, once he was finished, the place was silent as they digest the information. Darui spoke up, and about what just happened, he said. I'm not really sure, said Naruto, but if I were to guess, I believe because the state I was placed in, she was able to come out. I felt her turn her wrath upon you guys, so I had to step in. I was able to regain control. So, what happened while all of that was going on? I mean, what happened with you? Karu said. It was strange. I felt like I was conscious but at the same time underwater. It was hard to move, speak, or even breathe. But I could see glimpses of what she was doing. It was horrible, wasn't it? Said Naruto as he looked down. Hey, don't sweat it, man, Amoy said. Those guys were not the goodest of guys. Yeah, I know, but because of me we failed the mission. We didn't get back what? That bastard Reiga stole. Well, not exactly, said Darui. We will discuss everything once we get back to the village, however, as he opened the bathroom door. Inside was none other than Gato. His mouth was taped, his hands were tied up, his legs were tied up, as he was unconscious. I doubt that Reiga would have brought the scrolls everywhere with him, and seeing that he was living as Gato's personal guard, he might have left them in a secure location inside, so it's up to us to find them. You think so, Sensei? Said Naruto. Well, we can at least give it a try. As Naruto nodded, he then turned towards the other two. So, are you guys okay with this? What do you mean? Karu said. Well, you see that she's kind of nuts. I wouldn't have faulted you if you guys didn't want to be on the same team with me anymore. Karu whacked him over the head. Ow, said Naruto. Don't even say that, you idiot. You're one of the best teammates anyone could ask for. Besides, you took control of her at the right moment, I'm sure. That you'll be able to figure out how to stop her from getting out. After all, you're Naruto. Someone that always seemed to do the impossible. Naruto chuckled and rubbed the back of his head. Besides, Amoy spoke up. We're your teammates and friends. We're not just gonna abandon you like that. Thanks, guys, said Naruto. Time skip. The group had made their way down towards Gato's location, where he was resided. As they searched the entire place, they had no one to bother them, so they had time. It wasn't long before they came upon Reiga's room. They searched the place until Naruto saw something on the wall. Fuinjutsu, to be exact, a seal. As he unsealed it, he didn't find any traps or anything. Seems that Reiga is more of a trusting person than he thought. Despite being a cold-hearted bastard, as Naruto opened said seal. Hey guys! As they all came in the room, he turned towards them with a smile, holding up 3 scrolls in his hand. As there was 2 more inside. Time skip. It was an early morning in the land of Wave. The land felt more calming now. The news had spread about Gato thugs being defeated by an unknown force, and about Zabuza and his apprentice fleeing away as well. So they were basically safe. There was no sign of Gato until it was early in the morning as the man stepped out. It even felt safer. There was just something about the air. That is when he noticed someone was hog-tied right in the center of the street. There was a post holding him there. The man's eyes widened. Hey! Get out here fast, he shouted. Several people started to exit their home to see none other than Gato tied up right in the middle of the street. He wasn't wearing a shirt, as someone had drawn something on his chest and his stomach as well. He made your life hell. I believe you guys should decide what should happen to him. The man then noticed something beside Gato. It was a chest, as there was a note on top of it, and this should help a lot as well. The man opened as his eyes went wide. It was cash. A lot of cash. As the people started swarming in happiness and delight, Gato's eyes was filled with fear. As his mouth was covered, he could not talk. All of their gazes turned towards him as he mumbled. They all wanted revenge after all. Meanwhile, at the house, slowly waking up, her mind had been conflicted for the past few days now. Natsume just could not remember. Someone saved her and she saw something, but she blacked out. But their face, why couldn't she remember it? Her sensei also seemed to be acting strange, as he seemed to be lost in his thoughts most of the time. Natsume could not remember. It was just not coming to her. They spent the remaining time helping Tazuna with the bridge. Zabuza was gone, him and his apprentice. Natsume hoped that she could meet Haku again to thank him for what he did. He was the one that had helped her up. He was a good person, but he had fled with Zabuza, and she didn't know if she would see him again. As for Kakashi, as Kakashi stood by himself, his trusty book in hand, but he was not reading it. That face. For the past few days, it has been bothering him greatly. He just didn't know, but that face reminded him of someone. Who was it? Kakashi just could not place it. The person looked so familiar to him. This has been bugging him. It seemed to be someone that he'd remember from the past, but they were a bit different. But he just could not place the face. They had to go back and report this to the Hokage the moment they returned. This news was, well, big. To believe that Kumo had someone like that on their side, And he seemed to be the same age as Natsuma and Mito. Wait, Natsuma and Mito? Kakashi thought to himself. His mind snapped back to a few years ago, remembering the tears and the sadness after their loss. No, it can't be, he thought to himself. Kakashi must be mistaken, that is what he told himself. He must be seeing things. There was no way that was possible. Naruto was dead. Naruto Namikaze died on that night, when he fell into the water. They could not find his body. They did not find him at all. And there was so much blood, there was no way that his weak body would have survived that. He remembered how much the family went through. He remembered how much his sensei and his wife suffered. Even Natsuma and Mito, he remembered how much they suffered. He didn't want to say anything about it and bring up their hopes. To tell them that their son is now a Kumo ninja. And when he was wrong, their hopes would be squashed and it would be all his fault. He didn't want to put them through that again. They had already suffered enough. But what if it was him? No, it wasn't. But what if it was? Kakashi had no idea what to do. Damn it, he thought to himself. If only he had heard anything else, a name. Kakashi just did not know. And he didn't know what to do either. As he rubbed his forehead in frustration. Damn it, he thought. Having no idea what to say or even do. If he told them and it was. But if it wasn't. Damn it, he thought to himself. Time skip. Kumo. I am fine, said Naruto. The moment they returned, with many things from Gato Estate. The group had seen it fit to leave behind a large sum of money for the people of Wave. Because Gato had a lot. Like a whole lot, he had an entire vault with golds and pieces that were worth a lot. And they were still ninjas after all. So they took what they could for themselves and bring it back home. But they left a sizable sum behind for the people of Land of Wave. They wanted none of the praise or anything, they did not do it for that. They just wanted to make sure that the people didn't have to suffer anymore. Even if they were killers, ninjas, they weren't monsters. However, Naruto had explained everything that happened. There wasn't a single scar in his chest despite what they had saw. His teammates had promised to stay by his side no matter what. As they would not leave his side, no matter what happened. As Naruto was grateful to hear that. However, his sister, when she found out what happened, his sister was all over him. As he believed that he told her that he was fine at least 1,000 times now. As Naruto wondered if she thought he was sick or something, she made him soup. His sister loved sushi and she also loved soup as well. The way she made it was amazing. It was actually one of Naruto's favorites. Knowing that, she made it for him. She fluffed up his pillows. She got him ready for bed once he was done. Despite her babying him, he didn't really hate it. He loved when his older sister doted on him. But this could not leave this room. When he said that, she chuckled. As Naruto was glad that she was here, but he promised he was fine. The doctors did some tests on him, but they could not find anything. However, as his sister left his room, Naruto sat in his bed as he closed his eyes, feeling and searching for something, and he did. Since her recent taking over his body, Naruto felt a deeper connection where he could now do this. Yui blinked as she looked at him, as he appeared in the mindscape without her summoning him. I see. So you figured out how to do that for yourself. As Naruto stepped forward without saying a word to her, there was a calm smile on his face. She looked him up and down. Would you mind explaining what was all of that today, Naruto asked. Oh, you mean me killing those humans? What of it, she said. Those guys were scum. If anything, they deserve what they got. Working for a man like Gato, I don't give a damn about them. What I'm talking about is you taking over my body. Oh, that. I saw my chance, so I took it. I'm just upset that it was not permanent. Naruto started to laugh. And what do you find so funny, human? You remember you told me that someone was coming, and it's almost like you fear this person. Her eyes narrowed at that. As the place became cold, she felt it. Usually she did not get cold. As Naruto looked up at her, his eyes had changed, his calm demeanor vanishing. He stepped forward until he was right in front of her face. Let me tell you this, and I'm only gonna say it once. Whoever you think that might be coming for you, there's no need to fear them, because if you ever take over my body again and try to hurt my friends, I will kill you. I don't know how, but I will find a way to kill you. So you won't have to worry about these people coming for your life or anything else, because I will kill you myself. You think that just because you feel like you're above humans, you can do as you please. It was one thing to take over my body, but to go after my friends, to try and hurt them. I swear to you, woman, said Naruto, if you ever try that again, I'll murder you in the worst way possible, and I'll make sure that you suffer, said Naruto. She was taken aback. She saw the ferocity, the darkness in his eyes. He was so calm one moment, and next, it was like a raging volcano about to erupt. She was so stunned that she did not even say anything, as he turned and started to vanish away, leaving her alone. What was this? Did his little words actually shake her up a bit? She shook her head no. She was just caught off guard, not expecting that. Yet, she wasn't able to respond to him, and he thought that he had the upper hand now. She clenched her fist at that. Time skip. They finally got back. After the month was over, seeing that the bridge had suffered tremendous damage after that battle, they finally got back. Sasuke had tried to get information on what happened after he passed out, but Mito had been knocked unconscious right after. Kakashi was able to tell them bits and pieces of what he saw. His mind was still, well, it was conflicted on what he saw. That Kumo boy, he looked like Naruto. However, Naruto's body was always weakened. It was in a state of dehydration, like someone who had been locked away for a long while, because of his sickness. Kakashi had always felt pity for the boy, knowing that he wanted to be a shinobi like his sisters. However, Kakashi feared the thought of that not actually being Naruto, because if it was not that mean, he was gonna start something that would just cause the family more pain. After all these years, they finally seemed to be taking a step in the right direction, and he didn't want to bring back past that would haunt them. Mito said that she was saved by someone. Sakura did not see anything because of all the mist gathering around the area, so she did not know what the hell happened. All she saw was the three ninjas moving so fast. She did not even see their headband, and she heard someone call out a name as well, towards a white-haired individual, but she could not see his face. However, Sakura was sure that was the same guy that wanted Gato's location. I want to know more about Gato. However, she did not see that as relevant, so she did not say anything. And besides, the mission was over. It's not like they were going to go to Kumo or anything, or like they were their friends. As they got back to the village, they all made their way towards the tower to report back in. To report that he had allowed them to continue on with the mission even though the client had lied. He had sent proof by Pakon for them to understand, but the thing was, talking to your superior in face-to-face and also sending proof was two different things. He was sure that Minato was a bit upset, and he would be the one to face his wrath, because he was the one that agreed to go on the mission. However, they did good, and his team had came out of it stronger. Sasuke awakened his Sharingan. Even Sakura put in the work, as she wants to get better so that she can stand by her teammate's side. So with that, they made their way up there as Kakashi believed that he did the right thing. Minato was calm as usual. However, even Kakashi could tell that he was a bit upset. His sensei did not show anger much, especially towards his subordinates and his family, but he could tell. As they explained everything that happened, as they were talking, Natsume glanced towards her father's table. There was a photo. There was a photo of all of them when they were younger. In this photo there was Naruto as well. They were all so young. Around 3 years old. There was many other photos over to the side and on the table. However, this one caught her eye. It then came back to her like a tidal wave, falling off the bridge. And then, Naruto! Natsume shouted out, gathering everyone's attention. Sakura blinked when she heard that. Natsume, said Minato. Father, it's him. What? Minato said. I saw Naruto. Minato looked towards her like she was crazy. What are you saying? He saved me. When I fell off the bridge, and in the water, it was him. Kakashi looked towards her. It was? You saw him as well, Sensei. I thought... What's going on, said Minato. Sasuke was confused. Of course he knew about Naruto. Natsume talked about him, and he also met him as well. But he barely spoke to the guy. When they were younger and he died some time ago. He saved me. It just came back to me. The memory. When I fell off the bridge, he jumped in the water and he brought me up. I saw his face before I was unconscious. He looks different because of him aging. His face is even filled out. It's sickness. It seems like it's completely gone. Kakashi. Is this... I'm not sure myself, but I saw someone. That is what I was gonna tell you. There was a boy that arrived, a Kumo ninja. And the things that he did. Minato raised a hand. Explain to me the mission first, he said. As he would have to talk to these two in private. To find out what the hell was going on. Sakura did not say anything as she just stood there. Once that was over, Sakura and Sasuke was dismissed. Sasuke noticed that she had a weird look on her face. He knew that it was not his normal self to act, but she was his teammate, and she hadn't been bugging him lately. Hey. She didn't even hear him. Hey. She looked up. Sasuke-kun. What's wrong? You seem upset. It's just... Who is this Naruto, Sakura asks? You don't know. She shook her head no. He was the son of the Hokage, also brother to Mito and Natsume as well. Wait, but how did I... Oh, you say was? Yes, he died some time ago. So why is Natsume saying that she saw him? I'm not sure. I was unconscious. Did you see anything? Well, not really, but... I'm not sure, she said. What do you mean? So she told Sasuke. There was a knock on the door. Minato paused. So did the other two as they looked up. Who is it? Said Minato. Sakura poked in her head. This is not the sir. There's something I gotta tell you, she said, as Sasuke stood there. Seeing the desperate look on her face, what is it? Sensei told you that I met the Kumo ninjas. The boy that I met, he had white hair, grey eyes. On the bridge I saw someone with white hair as well. Their back was turned and it was so blurry. But I clearly hear the Kumo ninja shouted out, Naruto. What? You heard that? Said Natsume. She raced out of her seat, right in front of Sakura. Yeah. When I saw that green glow, I heard the Kumo ninja call out Naruto. And then they went off. Minato got out of his chair. You saw this boy, he said, with your own eyes. How long did you speak? To him, Minato asked. About a minute. Haruna-san, said Minato. I want you to come with me to Inoichi, for us to get the image out of your mind to see what this boy truly looks like. Is he really your son? She said. I'm not sure, but your help will be a long way in going to know if he is. Okay, she said. As Natsume was shocked, couldn't believe it. Now she realized why she was so hung up on this person, because it was Naruto. There was no mistake about that. It was him. She saw his face. He looked more grown up, but she couldn't forget that face. It was Naruto. She was sure of it. Kakashi, who was second guessing himself, actually started to believe as well. Time skip. Kushina started to get worried. She heard that Team 7 was back. However, whenever she come back from a mission, Natsume always returned home and told her that she was back as quickly as she can. But it's been a few hours and Natsume had not returned back home yet. Kushina's mind started to worry. Why Natsume wasn't here? Minato wouldn't be talking to her for that long. This was the longest mission Natsume and her team had ever went on. She assured herself in her mind that they were fine and everything was okay. But now, as Natsume was not returning after Team 7 was back, she was starting to panic. She quickly made her way, as Mito was with her. Mito had went on 2 missions with her sensei, since Natsume had left out. I'm sure that she's okay, Mom. Perhaps Dad just called her in or something, said Mito, as she didn't even want to think about that anything was wrong with her sister. They went straight to the Hokage Tower, as the receptionist told Kushina that Minato was not there. As Kushina was able to find out that he headed towards the IT department. For what? No, that was making things worse. As she proceeded to make her way. I'm sure everything is fine, Mito said, hoping that that was true. Of course it was, she told herself. Yeah, as long as she believed that it was, she thought to herself. Minma was kind of at a play date with a friend of Kushina and her kids at the moment, so he was having fun. As they made their way towards the location, having been a former ninja, Kushina knew exactly where the place was. As she made her way there, Minato had been so preoccupied and caught up in everything he forgot to inform his wife, and also he didn't want to get her hopes up. However, as Minato was able to get Inoichi, who got the image from Soccer Head, who then implanted in a sketch artist, who was able to sketch everything that he saw. And they came across a photo. Sir, your wife, and your daughter is here as well. As Minato completely blank on that. Send them in, he said, seeing that he had forgotten about them for a moment because he was so caught up. Mito and Kushina came down as they arrived down towards the area to see Mom. Oh, Natsume, you are right. Kushina says she rushed up to her daughter and hugged her. Yeah, of course I'm alright. As she released her daughter, ow, said Natsume, as Mito punched her in the shoulder. What the hell was that for? You deserve it. You worried us. Worried you guys about what? It's alright now, said Kushina. And how much time have I told you to stop punching your sister? But she deserved it, Mom, Mito said, as Natsume glared at her. It almost caused them to fight. However, Kushina stepped in the middle, knowing how brutal their little skirmish can get. What's going on? Why are you down here? Mom, I got good news. I told you that he was alive. What are you? Naruto is alive. Natsume, said Mito. Knowing how painful that was for all of them, how could she bring that back up without any proof? I have proof. It's not like the last time. This time I have proof. As she walked, causing the others to follow her, Kushina was walking on autopilot. As she came in the room to see Sakura and Sasuke and Kakashi, Minato was there with Inoichi and a Hyuga member who had a sketch pad in his hand. It was larger than most. He seemed to be drawing something. This is what she saw, the Hyuga said. Kushina's eyes widened as she stepped towards the photo, her mind instantly thinking of younger Naruto, and filling out his cheeks and giving him a better, brighter look because of his sickness not being there, aging him up. It looks so much like... What's going on, she said to Minato. Tears already coming to her eyes. Minato, who had saw the exact image because Inoichi had planted inside his mind for him to see, and hearing the Kumo ninja call out to him. He's alive. Our son is alive. Mito's eyes widened as she grabbed Natsume by the shoulder. Is this true? Naruto's alive? Yeah, said Natsume, tears in her eyes. I saw him. It's him. I don't know what happened, but it's him. He's grown, but it's him. There's no doubt about that. Our brother's alive. You are right, said Mito. I, I'm sorry I doubted you. It's alright. It doesn't matter anymore. He's alive. As Natsume started to cry as Mito and her hug each other, Sasuke and Sakura standing there. As Sakura felt like she wanted to cry as well seeing this scene. Kushina walked over towards her husband, tears streaming down her face already. She never thought the possibility of him as Minato held her. Kakashi stood there, a smile on his face. However, the smile quickly vanished when he realized that Naruto was a ninja of Kumo. How did that even happen? Because there was no doubt about it, it was Naruto. But how was he now a Kumo ninja? None of this could be. All just a coincidence. The name, everything. Minato had saw the image himself, seeing exactly what Sakura saw, so he was able to get a better view. And after hearing the name, Minato believed that that was his son. But how was he alive? However, Minato's mind started to realize that his son was a Kumo ninja, no understanding what Kakashi was feeling. His son was a Kumo ninja. It then started snapping everyone's mind. Kushina fist clenching. Those bastards. They took her son away. Just like how they tried to take her when she was younger. The residue of the fox chakra inside of her that had allowed her to live after being pumped back in her system started to act up. Over the years, the chakra had started to strengthen itself by trying to draw on her chakra. And little by little it has. It was not affecting her in the slightest, but the fox chakra was just well, it was basically alive, so you could understand why it was trying to re-energize itself, replenish itself. Her eyes turned blood red with slits in them. A dangerous look came on her face. 3 whisker marks appeared on the side of her face. Her nails extended in rage. She was under full control, of course. She was able to handle a large dose of the fox chakra when she was younger because of her Uzumaki heritage, so especially because this chakra didn't have a mind of its own, she could control it. However, she was so angry. They took her baby away, just like they tried to take her away. I'm gonna kill them, she said. But guys, be end so right here. If you want to see the next part, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace.